All right, hello everybody. My name is James Dombacher, and I'm recording for Dr. Martin for our Disposition to Teach, part 2 here. And part 1, we have our survey that we did on all the different dispositions. And our first question that we needed to answer here is what dispositions do you possess that you think will make you a successful teacher? So I am somewhat in the classroom already. I've taken a permanent sub position at Auburn Junior High School as a special education teacher. And this is what I'm wanting to get my master's in to continue to teach special education. But out of our dispositions, the ones that I feel that I possess the most would be the educators should believe that all students are can learn and should set and support realistic expectations for student success. And as a teacher in special education, I believe all my students can learn. They learn in different ways. They're not none of them are going to be the same. They're not going to be like your average student. And these are just kids that it's just little niches that they just learn a little bit differently than other students. So I always believe my students can learn. And when you supporting real expectations for a student success, that's big, especially in special education. If I set these expectations extremely high, and they're not getting there and meeting them, then they're gonna give up. I have to make sure these expectations are realistic, that they're gonna meet, and that they will continue to move forward with them. Otherwise, if I'm not setting realistic expectations, I'm not gonna meet my expectations for these students either. And let's see, another one that I believe to make teachers successful, or myself successful, that I possess is educators should exercise sound judgment and ethical behavior. Being a Marine and being in the public a lot, if you don't have sound judgment and ethical behavior, you're setting an example for your students and how they see and perceive you. And if they see you acting up or acting inappropriately, that's how they're going to act. I mean, you're the person that they look up to. I'm the person that they look up to. So if that's something that I feel I possess. I feel like when my students come in, they see me work hard and continue to lead them in a positive way, that reflects onto them. And that's how they will start to perceive their lives and start to affect other people. So our second question is what dispositions do you need to work on before entering the classroom? So, after reading through all the dispositions here, I couldn't find one to really target something that I need to work on. But I believe that one thing I need to work on right now, since I'm in the classroom, I've experienced it, is my organization. My organization right now is kind of off the charts, just because it's something new to me that I've never been in the classroom before. And I'm working in special education. And if you have any idea about special education, there is a lot of paperwork. And when you have to start doing IEPs for students in large packets that's 50 pages long, and you have to keep typing them up and collecting stuff from other teachers reports, students reports, parents reports, it's come as a shock to me. I'm starting to figure it out. I'm getting everything organized, but I'm gonna have to continue to build on that because it's gonna keep building on me. So that's something that I really feel that I need to work on. And just communications with other teachers. I need to make sure that they have clear expectations of my expectations of special ed students that are still taking gen ed classes. So when those special education students are in those general education classes, teachers need to know my expectations for those students and enforce my expectations on those students at the same time, as well as their own expectations. So, and our third question here is, what does an educator look like and how do they behave? So if you were going to go off these dispositions, and as Dr. Martin, as you said, we should probably strongly agree on all these. I mean, that's you defined how a teacher should look right there. I don't think you can put a full price on looks, by how someone actually looks. I mean, you want them to look professional, but an educator's an educator. If you're good at it, you're good at it. And if you can figure it out, it doesn't matter how you work, as long as you're affecting students' lives in a positive way. But the ideal model would be right off that disposition survey sheet. You can put all those together, and you probably have a pretty good teacher there. And how you behave is kind of what we talked about earlier. Educators should exercise sound judgment and ethical behavior. Don't do anything you want people to be talking about the next day. You're just going to set a bad example for yourself or create a bad name for yourself. Because somebody is always watching you. I've learned that somebody's watching you. So, don't mess up. And what standards guide their thinking and actions? Standards that I think guide a teacher's actions is one, their surroundings, where they're working at. They're with these people every single day, and how other teachers in their field are acting, it's going to rub off on them. So you have to stay true to your educational judgment and ethical behavior. It's just, you have to stay on your straight and narrow path and keep looking forward. And then you also have your state and your school standards that you have to follow. So if your school has a standard or curriculum they want you to do, you have to follow it. I mean, if ands or buts about it, it's your job, and that's what they feel that is how students are going to be affected in a positive way. So after answering all these questions, the disposition survey I thought was awesome. I strongly agree with everything that was on there. Like I said, you can build a model teacher off of that if it's something that I know I will use and follow for my future classes and my job. So thank you for your time again. This is James Dombacher for my disposition survey. So thank you all.